Today we going to talk about why old bombers like the Tu-160 and Sen America's SB-52 Stratofortress are still very much in demand, despite being almost half a century old. In fact, the U.S. Air Force has spent nearly $3 billion upgrading these ancient war machines over the last 5 years alone, and was designed during the Cold War to penetrate deep into hostile airspace and deliver ordnance to targets across an entire continent. First, their ability to carry more ordnance than any other aircraft. And second, their incredible range. That means it can strike targets anywhere in Europe from its home bases in Russia without refueling. And although the U.S. Air Force has smaller munitions capacity compared to the Russian giant, the B-52 still boasts an incredible 35 tons of ordnance and a range of more than 14,000 kilometers, or 8,700 miles. Let's take the B-52 Stratofortress, America's venerable bomber that has been in continuous production since 1955. To keep these ancient aircraft flying, the Air Force operates a network of specialized maintenance depots that focus exclusively on keeping these aircraft combat-ready. Additionally, one B-52 unit is stationed at Loring Air Force Base in Maine until its eventual closure in 2023. The new variant features modernized engines, avionics, materials, a glass cockpit, and the capability to carry a variety of new munitions. Dubbed the White Swan, the Tu-160 is capable of carrying a maximum payload of 45 tons and has a range of nearly 7,000 miles. While the B-52 enjoys a lifespan that will take it well into the 2040s, the Soviet Union's contribution to the strategic bomber arena. In fact, the B-21 is expected to join the B-52 in service for decades to come. The Tu-160 is only now reaching full operational status after undergoing extensive upgrades of its own. Each one of these 8 primary depots and 10 geographically separated units has highly trained and certified technicians who work around the clock to repair, modify, test, and store B-52s. These depots maintain the structural components, weapon systems, communication systems, propulsion systems, flight control systems, electrical power systems, and hydraulic systems, all while adhering to rigorous safety standards and a continuous improvement process. Each system goes through a prescribed cycle of maintenance checks ranging from daily to depot-level rebuilds. The Air Force recently awarded a $173 million contract to its primary B-52 sustainer, the Oklahoma City Air Logistics Complex, for continued maintenance, repair, and modification of the bomber's complex avionics systems. According to officials at the Oklahoma City ALC, the average B-52 arrives at the depot every 6 months for a scheduled depot maintenance check, which involves approximately 15,000 labor hours per aircraft. These checks include ultrasonic inspections of the aircraft's skin to detect microscopic flaws in the structure, allowing maintenance crews to address any issues before they become catastrophic. The avionics shop at the Oklahoma depot focuses on maintaining, repairing, and modifying the B-52's complex electronic systems, including its mission management computer, radar, navigation systems, and weapons delivery systems. A team of 285 airmen in the avionics shop complete about 125 depot-level repairs each year, requiring roughly 6,000 labor hours per repair. And a single B-52 can carry up to 27 tons of ordnance. This allows American bombers to take off from the United States and hit targets across the globe without needing to refuel. The F-35 carries a maximum bomb load of just under 3 tons and costs nearly $120 million per example. The B-52 costs just $75 million. The incredible upkeep required to keep these aircraft flying is one reason that the U.S. has invested heavily in modernizing the bomber fleet, increasing its lifespan from 30 to 50 years. But it's also why the bomber requires so many maintainers on site at all times to keep the planes in top condition. It takes a massive logistical enterprise to keep these aircraft flying. Together, these factors make them uniquely suited for a specialized mission set that ensures they remain relevant in today's world. I think it's safe to say that we're not exactly in the market for new ones, but bombers like the Tu-160 are still very relevant because they do something no other aircraft can do. And if you want to know what that is, stay tuned to find out. And Russia recently took the wraps off a modernized version of their own White Swan bomber. So let's talk about why these bombers are still so important, how modernizations have kept them relevant, and what makes them such potent weapons of war. A supersonic strategic bomber that first flew in 1981 entered service in 1989. There are two things that make long-range heavy payload bombers like the B-52 and the Tu-160 indispensable to any nuclear arsenal. The Tu-160 can carry up to 45 tons of ordnance, including both conventional and nuclear payloads, and can reach targets over 6,800 miles away. The real advantage that bombers bring to the fight is their ability to strike anywhere in the world without relying on forward operating bases. They don't need a place to stage their attacks like fighter jets or attack aircraft. They can operate entirely from their home bases and still reach any target on Earth. It's this flexibility that makes them incredibly valuable. If the United States wanted to launch airstrikes against Iran from the United States, for instance, the Air Force could do it with B-52s. It would be faster and more efficient to fly a B-52 from the U.S. mainland than to attempt to send F-35s or F-15s halfway around the world. And the bomb load carried by a single B-52 is far greater than any other aircraft in the inventory. But those incredible ranges require equally incredible support systems on the ground. Now compare that to the Navy's F-35C, the most capable fighter in the world. In the United States, 3 different Air Force bases, House B-52s, Barksdale, Louisiana, Dyess, Texas, and Minot, North Dakota. Russia began flight testing its new 300th variant of the Tu-160 back in 2023 and expects to deliver the first examples by 2026. According to Dmitry Rogozin, General Director of the Kazan Aviation Plant, the modernized aircraft will feature new computing systems, onboard systems, flight and navigation equipment, electronic warfare, and other unspecified technical innovations. As part of the upgrade, the aircraft's for Kuznetsov NK-25 engines will be replaced by newer, more efficient NK-32s that will allow the aircraft to supercruise at Mach 1.05 without the use of afterburners, thereby reducing fuel consumption and extending range. And unlike the B-52, which has never had an in-flight refueling probe installed, the Tu-160 does. This further extends the range of the Russian bomber. The new 300th variant of the Tu-160 will also be capable of carrying hypersonic missiles, giving it even greater offensive capabilities. But it isn't just the B-52 and the Tu-160 that have received upgrades in recent years. America's other main nuclear bomber, the B-2 Spirit, has also gotten some much-needed modernization. At an estimated cost of $1.3 billion, the Air Force has upgraded the B-2's mission management system, allowing the aircraft to carry more ordnance and access more targets with greater accuracy. The upgrades include a new high-performance computing architecture that increases processing power by 250 times and provides the aircraft with a high-fidelity real-time moving map display. It also gives the plane the ability to digitally input data from external sources, such as ground stations and other aircraft, and provides improved communications between the aircraft and its support personnel on the ground. While it doesn't directly increase the B-2's stealth characteristics, the upgrade does allow the aircraft to carry and deploy more weapons with greater accuracy, which increases its overall effectiveness. While the addition of new bombers like the B-21 Raider might cause some to think that the era of the heavy, payload strategic bomber is coming to an end, nothing could be further from the truth. Long-range bombers are the only aircraft that can conduct independent operations anywhere in the world. It can strike targets deep inside enemy territory without the need for refueling, staging, or protection from fighter escorts. Their sheer size and long range make them ideal for nuclear deterrence, and their ability to carry large conventional payloads makes them ideal for conventional strikes as well. As long as there are strategic targets in the world worth destroying, there will be a need for long-range bombers. And that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and leave me a comment so I know what I should cover next. And of course, don't forget to tap on that bell icon so you never miss a drop from us.